You've probably been told for some time during this pandemic that American workers are too lazy. They got used to getting those stimulus checks and now they don't want to work. They just don't want to go to work. That's why the enhanced unemployment had to be cut, because you all are too lazy and they can't get people to fill all of these jobs. Well, a worker in Florida decided to test that theory. Joey Holz recalled first hearing complaints about a labor shortage last year when he called to donate convalescent plasma at a clinic near Fort Myers, Florida. So overall, good guy, Joey Holtz, trying to donate plasma. Says this guy went on this rant about how he can't find help and he can't keep anybody in his medical facility because they all quit over the stimulus checks. And I'm like, your medical professionals quit over $1,200 checks? That's weird. But anyway, he decided to actually test it. Lives his life by the scientific method and decided to actually test it. So over the next several months, you had all of these businesses saying you have to cut off the enhanced unemployment, no more stimulus checks. We need to get the workers back to work. We desperately need help. We're having to close down Wendy's, people. Well, he said he found it hard to believe the government money was keeping people out of the labor force. And he said, if this extra money that everyone's supposedly living off of stopped in June and it's now September, obviously that's not what's stopping them. So he decided to run an experiment. On September 1st, he sent job applications to a pair of restaurants that had been particularly public about their staffing problems. He's targeting businesses that are saying they can't get workers. Then he widened the test. And for 60 days, he applied to 2 different businesses every single day. And the vast majority of them, and he was tracking a spreadsheet, had been vocal about needing workers. So he had just 9 email responses after 28 applications, 1 follow-up call and 1 interview with a company that advertised a full-time job paying $10 per hour. But when he called them, they were in fact only gonna give $8.65. They'd lied about the wage, and it wasn't actually full-time. You'd have to work up to that. You wouldn't actually get benefits initially. You don't get the money, you don't get the benefits. They were lying to you. And this is effectively what we have seen. It's not that they can't find workers, it's that they can't find workers who are willing to be exploited in the way that they were before the pandemic. They're willing to work, and they're even willing to work for the things you say you'll give them in the ads. But when you're lying and you won't give them benefits, you won't give them the wage that they need to actually live, they have a problem with that. And that is the true problem at the heart of our economy right now. It's that workers have had a taste of not being relentlessly ground down under CEOs' boots, and they don't want to go under the boots again. And that is not an issue of the workers, that's an issue of the CEOs as I see it. Gary, what do you think?
I agree 100%. I think that if we really want to be wise about getting people back into the workforce, 1, raise the minimum wage, make sure that you're paying people a livable wage. People after this pandemic have recognized their value. And as they've recognized their value, they're not going to go and take a job to build you up, make you more money while their value is not appreciated by your organization. If your organization is a stand-up organization, then pay people a livable wage. The other thing about this is, there is a logic from 30 years ago that you go to college, you get a job, you work the same job for 20, 30 years and you retire. Well, most young people today, they stay on a job 3 to 4 years, they're moving on to something else. People are becoming more entrepreneurial. People figure out how can they make investments that help them make money long term. And so people are not saying, you know what, I'm gonna take an $8.25 an hour job. Well, I could go sit in my house and figure out how to make $100 faster than I can slaving at your job. And so people are going out and trying to figure out how can they go make money in a legal formative way to create entrepreneur energy. And I hope that some of those people are successful in building organizations and companies that pay people a livable wage and bring people back into the workforce. But this mythological thing that people for $1,200 a month aren't going back to work, $1,200 a month ain't enough to live nowhere in America.
Yep.
And so like telling people that a stimulus check or some type of stimulation to the economy, which by the way, helped Amazon make a ton more money, right? These checks that have come out have helped corporations have some of the best quarters that they've had. They've expanded their companies and grown their businesses. So let's not pretend that this money that was given away was the problem. The problem is your piss poor company.
100%. And thankfully we have some people, AOC was going off about this online. That's good. We have some people who understand this. There might be a crisis, but it's more fundamental than just laziness. We'll see if they actually ever engage with the true crisis. Kind of doubt it.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.